Hello and welcome back, Wildcat fans, to the Tucson Arena as your U of A Wildcats continue to take on the University of Denver on this very early, very bright Saturday morning. Thank you so much for everyone for coming back to that broadcast, and if you get a chance, we would love to have you experience Wildcat hockey in person here at the TCC. Seeing in that, Adam, what did you see in that first period that you liked and you kind of want to see more of in this game?
I saw a lot of good. Oops, my apologies, folks. I saw a good ferociousness come out of the Wildcats. I saw the Wild in the cat, and it came out here on the ice. The women were able to come out with a strong 2-point lead, and I think that overall, a lot of their strength lies in actually connecting their passes. Denver's doing good at intercepting a lot of them, but when the U of A is left uninterrupted, I think that they can make some phenomenal passes and scores, as we have seen so far.
Absolutely, Adam. I think we can definitely look at the University of Arizona Wildcats and see that team connectivity and see kind of that team mentality play through, and we're seeing that in their puck handling and in their offensive strategies here today.
And let's hope they have a strong one to start out with their enemies. University of Denver starting on the power play. This is going to be an interesting beginning to this matchup. Denver starts out with possession. Quickly intercepted by O'Neal, who drives it forward with Lowell. Quick shot and a score!
Not even 15 seconds into this game, we get a score out of, I believe, Adam, did you see, it was Howell, right?
I believe it was, yes, I believe that was Howell. Actually, I suppose we're going to have to see once the PA gives us a drive down.
Absolutely.
Looking right now at the replay, a little hard to make out numbers, but I guess we're going to hear right now just when we get the PA.
University of Arizona Wildcats goal scored 14 seconds into the second period from that short-handed number 7, Bryn O'Neal.
I apologize, it was Bryn O'Neal on that goal. Quick little puck vision there, and she saw the shot, and she took it. It was fantastic right at the gates.
O'Neal is actually the one who scored our first goal, so interesting that both periods scored first by O'Neal. I'm hoping that we'll be able to see a follow-up with our second contender for goals. We'll have to see, though. It looks like we are actually going to see a quick recovery by Denver, who's going to try their best to drive it out of the point. Quick shot to 13. 13 brings it over towards the red line. Doesn't cross yet. Stepped up by Howell, but thankfully they're able to get across. Back to 11. Dropped back cleanly to 27. Quick shot, thankfully goes just a little wide. Hannafin trying to make some room, making sure that they can stop any goal that comes in. Looks like we actually have a player who's trying to step into the blue on the goalie. That's a little bit of a no-no. Thankfully, we see some good defense from our Lady Cats. Quick block off of the fist pad of Hannafin to deflect it. Bit of toss-up against the board before the Wildcats are able to drop it out. It's picked up by 27 on Denver. He's going to loop it around. They're going to try to go in for a shoe-in. Hannafin is all over it. Read it in yesterday's newspaper as they get ready to block a little more. But hopefully the Lady Cats have a plan to get this puck out of their home goal. A little bit of a trip up over there. No penalty called on the play, thankfully. Quick shot that is unfortunately a slip. Quick shot in, blocked again by Hannafin. We're starting to see some good imposingness from Hannafin. I'm noticing they are definitely very good at watching the puck, but especially these past 3 shots that were attempted, they were all over it before it even came. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to keep that tenacity going into the third period as well to drive home a win.
Absolutely, that ability to read the puck is so important in goaltending, and we're definitely seeing Hannafin has it in strides.
Good attempt by the Wildcats to get a shot in. Unfortunately, looks like we have some good defense. Oh, a bit of a trip up, and we actually even lost a hockey stick on the Denver side. No call on play. Thankfully, they got that stick recovered. It always makes you nervous when the stick comes out on the play. It's not exactly what you want to see on the ice. Quick shot back, over the blue line. A little bit of a trip up, but thankfully the Wildcats are able to at least get it out of Denver possession before they're able to regroup. Thrown back in the Wildcat zone. Looks like Hannafin's going to come out and call it dead. a smart decision, as the Wildcats honestly needed a break after a good almost 4-minute round there. Going back and forth gives them a chance to regroup and get set for the next drop.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what strategy that the Ice Cats kind of perform here in this second period, kind of knowing where they're at goal-wise and offensive and defensively.
Brought quickly into the Denver zone. Thankfully, it is tossed a bit around, actually. We're seeing a little bit, not even a battle against the boards, but a battle with the boards in some sense. Shot back over the mid. Goes cross blue. Good deflection by number 1 on the enemy team. We could see why that number was well earned. Okay, quick pursuit we got coming up, trying to get that Howell. A quick tap in by Howell, but unfortunately just off the pad. Wildcats retained possession. Howell trying to bank it around to O'Neal, who picks it up. Quick throw backwards. They are trying to definitely get around this enemy defense, but they are starting to come in. A little bit of a trip up, unfortunately, looks like between the goalie and one of the D-line. We might have been able to see a play there, but the Wildcats just can't get past the other 3 on the ice. Bit of a toss-up around the board here. O'Neal's the one to recover it. She comes out with the Rockets boosting, and a very clean catch by the goalie to call the play dead. Alrighty, it looks like we're getting ready for the drop once again. Clean drop and caught dead once again by the goalie, not even giving the Cats a chance. Let's see here if we can come out of this one with a new possession. Denver's quick to act, trying to push it outside of Colorado, but unfortunately they're pushed back behind the blue line in their home turf. All over it as we see a battle of the boards between Strand and Schultz, trying to put some pressure on Denver to get that puck out of their zone or to hand it over. A body interruption by Serenade in order to try to get that puck. It's brought back towards the mid zone, where it's now being driven by Savannah Allen to try to get it back into the Cats playing field. Tossed back, but unfortunately 2 Cats miss the catch in order to try to throw it back into the goal. Quick shot to get it back into play by Valamont. And it is caught and thrown down dead just in front of the goal zone. Lots of attempts, though, by the Lady Cats to try to get that puck in.
Absolutely. We're definitely seeing kind of that puck strategy and kind of that strategic playmaking from the Ice Cats. And we kind of saw it in that last 2 plays where they're trying to kind of see what they can do and kind of poking at the defensive bear that is DU, just to kind of see where maybe they can get another one in.
And they're definitely seeing a few points. Like you can see, they are confident enough to make several clean shots. I think currently leading the game in shots on goal. It is just making that last connection work through this Denver defense, as they are just all over intercepting that puck. Let's see here. Quick toss up. We are now past the red as Denver brings it into Arizona's home field turf. Quick shot, quick block, and played dead by Hannafin. That one was close. You could tell even she for a moment thought she lost the puck, but thankfully she was able to glove it down super fast.
Absolutely. That's definitely a huge part of kind of being that goalie and kind of knowing when you kind of got to stop the tension and the kind of stress levels as they're going up. And we're definitely seeing it from Hannafin.
Oh, absolutely. It's pivotal, excuse me. And thankfully, Hannafin is just the person for the job. Once again, gloving it down to be safe. You don't want to risk it with those corner shots, especially not at this point in the stage of the game. Wildcats are ahead, but you never know. We do, in fact, have at least 33 more minutes in play. This is, by any stretch of the mind, anyone's game. You cannot deny. Denver has had a strong showing defensively. But the second they flip that switch, this could be a very different game. The Wildcats need to keep their cool on the ice. And above all, they need to make sure that they don't burn out. A little bit of a mix-up against the boards, trying to get it back. Pulled back, thankfully, by Allen. Tries to bring it around. Deflected once again. Denver starts to bring it down the main drive. Looks like it's a 3-on-1 matchup, and O'Neal's able to dunk it out, but unfortunately, it looks like we're going to see a penalty called on the play. What do you think we're going to see? Is it too many on the ice? I know that Denver just tried to do a bit of a line change there.
It looked like a line change, and it doesn't look like it was completely completed, so I think we are going to get it too many men on the ice again, which is kind of a tough call to get twice in a game for DU on this one.
A little bit. You can even tell number 10 on the enemy team definitely not excited to be taking one, but you know what? Good for her for taking one for the team at the end of the day.
Absolutely. With that, now we are in a 5-on-4 situation with the penalty.
Yep, too many players.
We are on a public transportation power play.
And let's hope, being on the transportation power play, we can drive home a few shots on this enemy team. Let's see what we can make do with it. Thankfully, Denver is actually starting to spread out a bit. The Wildcats can take advantage of this. Up until now, Denver's biggest winning point in their defense, aside from the interceptions, is closing gaps. And we can start to see a little bit now as they kind of like coagulate. Even as the goalie goes down, they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that nothing goes through. A missed pass by Lowell to try to get into the goal there. And it looks like we got a bit of a scramble. Both of them fall on top of each other trying to get that puck. Thankfully, it comes away by Lily Howell. Passes it back to Allen, who goes for a quick shot just off of the skates of the Denver player. Quick shot again. Looks like this time attempted by number 12, Schultz. We're seeing a bit of a mix-up here. Denver's starting to coalesce, and they are starting to drive that puck away. And it seems successful. That puck is going all the way back to Arizona. But let's see if we can drive it back towards the other goal. Shot over towards Hannah. Oh, my apologies. That is the wrong number by a long shot. Hannafin is the goalie. That would be a quick shot over to Carson. He's trying to drive it along the blue line, trying to get anywhere into Denver. Looks like we're able to. Quick in. Oh, just off the pads of the upper part of number 1's pads. That is a brilliant deflection, I will say.
Absolutely. We're definitely seeing, with that, a quick shot from, I believe that was Carson.
I want to say so too, actually. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good one. I know that kind of caught all of us off guard.
Absolutely. With that quick shot right through, she definitely found, again, puck vision is so incredibly important on this team, and we're definitely seeing it from our offensive core today. And she found that spot. She took a quick shot, and look here, now it's going to be 4-0 for your Ice Cats.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we still have 16 seconds of power play. Not much the Cats might be able to do with that, but there's always a chance, especially with that 14-second out of the gate. There's always a chance they can make another goal here.
With when a goal happens in a power play, it does make the power play then void. So it is now 5-on-5 hockey.
I see now. My apologies. I think they need to update the score. Yep, they just did. Play caught dead. Alrighty, we're back into the fold. Quick pursuit by 22, combated by Maine. They're able to dump it back, but it is picked up very quickly by number 3, who's starting to drive it over towards Arizona. Let's see if they can make the drive over. And it is. Okay, looks like we're getting a good pass up. Arizona's able to bring it back around. Looks like we got a bit of a 2-on-3. A quick shot that doesn't seem to go anywhere. I think, yep, we're just seeing a bit of a whistle blow on that. Is that a blow dead, or do you think that's a blow on ice? I noticed they were just before the blue line on that one, but
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a blow to dead, not to icing. Just with the goalie interaction on it a little bit.
which is good, especially at this stage of the game. If you're the Lady Wildcats, you do not want to risk any sort of penalties. Right now, you have the game right where you want it. Now's the time to play clean. Now's the time to make sure you are spick and span, not a single dot of dirt or nothing to make it you seem anywhere near a penalty.
Totally. Clean, clean, clean hockey from the Cats today.
It's always a relief to see. I know there's usually some extracurriculars that come along with the sport, and thankfully we are keeping this game quite PG, well within the ratings that we broadcast upon. Is hockey PG, or is that by default rated PG-13?
I think by default and by crowd chants, it has to be rated PG-13.
That is a fair point. The hockey fans are very impassioned, and that goes between both their language and their actions. So I think PG-13 would actually make a lot more sense. But ratings aside, let's stop talking about making it and start talking about actually working on getting ratings here. Let's see. Wildcats, once again, we have a bit of a 2-on-1 situation as 18 starts to drive it into Arizona's home turf. Bit of a mix-up against the boards. 21 comes away, but Hannafin read it in yesterday's paper and was all over blocking that goal. They didn't get a chance to dunk it around at all. Bit of a mix-up. Looks like we have O'Neill try to come away with it, but a little bit of tripping up. Looks like a slap shot, unfortunately, gets caught against someone's skates. Thankfully, Arizona is still able to drive it all the way to Colorado. Quick shot in, and an awesome side kick from number 1. Looks like, unfortunately, we have a little bit of a spin out there, but thankfully, Wildcats begin to recuperate. We have a 3-on-1. Very good defense, instantly shown. They are not going to let Denver near their goal by any stretch of the easy mean. Carson with a quick shot, but he is currently caught up by number 4 on the enemy team. A little bit of a mix-up on the goal. I actually think I just saw a slap there. And maybe the ref saw that too. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks like the DU player knew she was going in the box the second that whistle was blown, and now it looks like it's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a power play for your Cats.
Yeah. We love to be on the power play, but at the same time, we want to try to make sure this is a clean game. The second you start, throwing fists or anything like that, we got to make sure people are safe.
Absolutely. I think the official call will probably be roughing for it today.
I think that might be. Let's see what the PA brings us, if anything, on that call.
University of Denver penalty number 4, Avery Haskell. 2 minutes for roughing.
Good call.
Yeah, roughing was that call.
And that is why you are a resident researcher / intel. You grew up in the hockey world, right?
I did. Watching a lot of hockey, you learn real quick what's going to get called and what's not.
And a quick shot advantage by the Wildcats. At first, I saw a good deflection by 1, but the second that puck idled in the blue zone, it was instantly taken advantage of. It looks like by number 9, Brittany Bridle.
Little tap in from her. Great to see.
We love to see that sort of action here on the ice.
We really do.
It's the same rule between money and goals. If it's free, take it. Unfortunately, looks like we might have a bit of an injury over here in the Colorado section.
It appears to be number 1, that goalie, who is down on the ice.
Looks like it might be a malfunction with either the skates. I noticed there was a bit of a tumble that was taken.
Perhaps, or maybe the cage.
That is also possible. I'm noticing the face mask is off.
Goalies have so much gear, I don't even know how they do it.
But God bless them for doing so, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
She is right back up and she's ready. She said to keep playing.
Power play goal scored 8:17 in the third by number 9, Brittany Bridell.
That is indeed scored by number 9, Bridell.
Layla Schultz.
Absolutely, and that does mean that we are back on that 5-on-5 hockey with the goal from Bridle.
I got a chance to meet Brittany Bridle earlier this game. Unfortunately, due to a bit of a mix-up, I was trying to meet with our production advisor, Brittany, And when I asked the team where to find her, they instead brought me to Brittany Bridal. So I got a chance to speak with her, but unfortunately, different circumstances than what I was hoping to.
She's having a great game, and we're definitely seeing kind of that offensive pressure that she provides for the Ice Cats present in this game with that last goal and all the quick shots we're seeing her take. She's definitely a playmaker when it comes to those quick puck vision shots, and we definitely are seeing it from her.
Absolutely. Between her and O'Neal, we have a very strong offensive front trying to get in there and not only bust through Denver, but also try to get as many pucks in the goal as possible.
Absolutely. Our O-Core is taking fantastic shots on in this game.
A bit of a slip up along the boards, but it looks like we're able to recuperate. Denver, however, comes away with it. Quick shot back as they bring it into Arizona's home turf. Quickly tossed away by Pesca, trying to get it back into Wildcat possession. Brings it around to Valemont, who tries to toss it forward and thankfully succeeds. We're back in Colorado as Wildcats are trying to bring something home to the Denver's goal.
We're definitely seeing more longer battles on the boards in this second period from both teams. Kind of these slightly bigger hits. We're definitely seeing kind of that aggression, maybe that DU frustration kind of come out in this second period.
Might be a weird analogy, but it almost reminds me of earthquakes. The frequency of them has just started to increase. Same with the magnitude of them.
Absolutely. That's really good analogy for this one. We're definitely kind of seeing that frustration kind of start to peek through from DU with a little bit more nudging, a little bit more extracurricular activity from the DU, but
thankfully nothing the refs can't handle.
Absolutely.
And it looks like we are seeing a brief change around here real quick. University of Denver, it looks like they are currently trying to come up with a good counter for this. They're sending out a few new players onto the ice, trying to figure out what they can do to get around this Wildcats' strong offense. The cat's claw has been sharpened, and they're trying to find out what they can put between them and it before they get scratched. Once again, the Cats are able to pull away despite Denver actually winning the faceoff.
Ooh.
Quick shot actually into Denver's zone, it looks like, unfortunately. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like anyone's hurt. Yeah, looks like we're all good. Thankfully, everyone had their helmets on.
Absolutely. That coach definitely hit that deflect real quick when the puck came in her direction.
Back in for the toss-up. Let's see what we can make of this one. A little bit of antsiness, which is good. These ladies are ready to get on top of the puck and get it right into the enemy's goal. I think that we're starting to see a fire light with every team, not only just Denver, but U of A as well, despite the fact that they're winning.
Absolutely. I definitely think we're seeing an offensive core kind of change up from DU with their offensive core kind of taking that fire that Adam was talking about with more and more shots and kind of more close relations with our with Hanahan.
Heck, I'm even starting to notice Denver. You could call it desperation. I think it's determination. They're starting to actually bring a bit more to the field. I'm noticing they're focusing in more. They're actually starting to ramp up their speed. They're slapping that stick a little harder, trying to get that puck out of the zone. I think that Denver hasn't given up yet, and that is awesome to see at this stage of the game, being 5-0, because we still have a game, and they know it.
Absolutely, with a little over 5 minutes left in this second period, we are seeing that aggressiveness. We're actually seeing a penalty for DU. Adam, did you happen to catch what that penalty is called on?
I didn't actually see specifically. I don't believe that was an icing call, but I could absolutely be wrong on that one. I guess we're going to have to see what the PA says.
Denver penalty, number 13, Jenna Rubin, 2 minutes,
tripping on the call. I did happen to see a tumble, but I wasn't too sure if there was an enemy stick in that zone. Looks like there might have been.
Absolutely, which does mean we're back on that power play for your Ice Cats.
Thankfully, goalie number 1 showing why they are. They're going to call it dead. This is the power play. You cannot risk giving that enemy team any more time to play.
Absolutely, and with our last 2 power plays from DU, we've seen Ice Cat goals. So they're definitely kind of going to be super aware in this power play to kind of just really defensively cover as many players as you possibly can, especially seeing how these power plays have gone in the past in this game for DU.
Absolutely. You could tell Denver's not giving this chances. Twice in a row, they just dump it as far as they can into the Arizona's home ice, trying to make sure they don't even get a shot, or above all, that they have to regroup in order to even attempt to get into their zone.
Absolutely. We're definitely seeing that more one-on-one kind of a DU player defensively, just kind of trying to cover all over the Ice Cats, and we're definitely seeing that more and more into this back end of the second period right now.
And play is called dead right there as they glove it down. About 51 seconds left into the power play. Cats still have a chance to make something of this power play. Let's see if they can do so. Coming in for the face-off, we have 18 coming up against. Can't actually see who that is. Looks like that is actually McKeague that went in for the toss-up, and she seems to have done a good job. Wildcats come away with it, trying to bridge something over the midsection to get into Colorado zone, but it is dunked deep.
As we saw in that face-off, McKeague is definitely one to take that face-off very, very aggressively. We saw it from their first game here at the TCC. She's a very, very aggressive player, but she's very mindful of the puck and very, very aware of not only herself on the ice, but her teammates as well. And we definitely see kind of that vision of the whole ice from her.
That was something I was starting to pick up on. I know that a lot of the interceptions and all these sort of like mix-ups that Denver's been doing, of anyone on the team, McKeague has been doing a phenomenal job of keeping possession. Even right there, as they tried to trip her up and get that puck out of her, she was able to maintain possession despite having 3 players on her. Phenomenal job in showing on her behalf. Coming in for a puck drop right here. 3 minutes left. Let's see if either team can make something of this as we are going into the next phase of the matchup. No power play, 5-on-5. Both teams have a shot at trying to make something of themselves just before this quarter starts to wrap up. Excuse me, period. Quick pass around, looks like got up really quickly by Howell. Starts to bring it around, driving it down into the zone of Denver. Quick pass back, unfortunately tipped up by Denver. Wildcats scramble backwards to try to grab it. Going around the goal, trying to bring it home. Denver's actually able to mix it up and attempts a goal, 2 of them. First one goes off the pads of Hannafin. Second one is gloved down just before Denver can make any more trouble. And that's a really good play that I'm starting to notice Denver is starting to catch on, is that their defense can very quickly turn into an offense. Once they get the Wildcats sort of around their home goal, like a light switch, you can watch them turn around and they start putting on any pressure they can. I think that's something that we're going to see a bit more of in the third period, and that's going to make for a potentially pretty interesting conclusion to this matchup.
Absolutely. Definitely with those 2 quick shots, we're kind of seeing that O-core for DU kind of start to spark up and kind of use that puck vision to try and get some shots on goal here and possibly even a goal for them. We'll see.
Absolutely. As we can see a little bit of stick clash up there in the air as they're starting to bring their way around. Denver with possession, trying to make sure that they can bring it out. Wildcats, however, fighting for it right here in the interim. Let's see, picked up by Strand, who dunks it back, trying to make sure they can't get to it. Schultz goes in to intercept. Strand up front by the goal. Unfortunately, it looks like they just dragged someone down a little bit. I don't know if refs are going to be calling that one. Dunked back over past the refs, over to Maine, who's going to try to drive it not only along the boards, but possibly into a new stage of the play. Passing it over and back to Pesca, who's going to drive it forward. Puck is dropped back. Looks like we have definitely some good back and forth here around the Arizona goal.
Absolutely. In this back half of that second period, we're definitely seeing that possession switch up that we kind of were seeing early in that first period. And we're definitely seeing an aggressiveness from DU that we have obviously we've been talking about all of this second period, and it's very, very evident that they are determined to get a mark on the board, as they say, in this second period.
With 1 minute left, both teams have their last opportunities to get it in there. We're going to see what they can make of this right now. Really big matchup. Just goes off the shoulder, actually, of Pesca, who's able to bring it back. A little bit of a slide in, but that's that determination showing, trying to make sure anything can be done. But the play is called at 35 seconds. Both teams are going to get a breather, a regroup, and I think we're going to try to see someone make a last chance here at getting anything in. With that chance to regroup starting in Colorado, so to speak. Let's see what the Cats or what Denver can do about this.
University of Denver penalty, number 8, Gabrielle Hardy, 2 minutes for tripping.
And actually, I just missed this. We actually just got a call on number 8 for Denver for a tripping penalty.
We're seeing a lot of tripping penalty calls from DU in this second period. If that's attuned to the kind of determination to get that goal and that kind of aggressiveness that they needed to see, or if it's just we're getting more aggressive in the hockey.
I think it's a little bit of both. In some ways, it's endearing because it shows that they're definitely fighting with everything they can to make sure that they can try to make something out of this, or that at the very least they can stop any more goals on Arizona's behalf. But on the other hand, you got to know when to keep it clean. You got to know when to keep your puck out of someone's skate, or your cue out of someone's skates.
Absolutely. And with that, with 20 minutes left to go for the Wildcats, they lead by 5, and we'll look to finish this out on home ice with a win. Stay with us, and we'll be back to bring you the final period from Tucson Arena in just a bit. Thank you for tuning in. This is Wildcat Hockey.
University of Arizona.
Hey Wildcat fans, my name's Riley Armstrong. I'm number 27. I play defense and I'm from Bothell, Washington. I chose the University of Arizona because I come from Seattle, Washington, where girls hockey is not a very big sport, and me and Essie Toivonen have played a big role in growing girls hockey in Seattle, as there's only 2 girls teams. So I wanted to come to a school in a place where there's not a lot of girls hockey so that we can continue to grow girls hockey along with all the other states.
Hi guys, my name is Essie Toivonen. I'm number 8 and I play center, and I'm from Hyvinkää, Finland. I've already been at the University of Arizona for 2 years, and when I saw that the women's hockey program was coming back, I was super excited. I've already played with some of these girls in high school for club hockey, and I'm super excited to get this team started again, and I think we're going to have a really great year.
Hi, I'm Grace McKeag. I'm number 61 from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and I play center.
Hi, my name is Bryn O'Neill. I'm from Prior Lake, Minnesota. I'm number 7, and I also play center.
Bryn, what are you most excited for this season?
I'm most excited for the opportunity to play with such an amazing group of girls and to be able to play the sport I love in my new home. Grace, why are you so excited for this season?
I'm excited to play college hockey and prove to everyone that we're here to stay.
Hi everyone, my name's Hannah Strand. I'm number 10 and I'm a wing. And here's my liney.
My name's Taylor Saarinen. I'm number 26 and I'm also a wing.
We're both from Anchorage, Alaska. So Taylor, why'd you want to come to Arizona?
To compensate for the lack of vitamin D in my bloodline.
I was also very sick of riding my moose to school.
My apartment actually has Wi-Fi here.
On a real note, we're really excited to play for this team, and Caitlin's a great coach.
What's up, Wildcat family? I'm Lucy Verderber, and I'm from Walpole, Massachusetts. You can find me on the blue line wearing number 4. I came to Arizona because I heard the tan last year round, but I'm wicked excited to bring women's hockey to the desert by joining the Wildcat family.
What's up, Wildcat fans? My name's Alana Main. I'm number 2, and I'm a defense. I'm from Penticton, British Columbia, Canada, and I decided to continue playing hockey after high school because my big sister inspired me to do so. I'm so excited to play for the University of Arizona this year.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Savvy Allen, and I play defense, and I'm wearing number 94 this season. I'm from Flagstaff, Arizona, and I decided to come to the University of Arizona to honor Matt Shaw and continue his legacy. He created the Arizona Kachinas, which is a AAA girls program here in Arizona to help girls play high-level hockey and accomplish their dreams of playing at the collegiate level.
Hello and welcome back, Wildcat fans, to the Tucson Arena as your U of A Wildcats continue to take on the University of Denver on this Saturday morning. Thank you so much for everyone for joining our live broadcast. And if you get a chance, we would love to have you experience Wildcat hockey in person if you can make it here at the TCC. With the women's hockey team, it is free this entire season. If you want to come on down for that men's games, we do have that ticket link. I believe it's either going to be in chat or on our website. So we've seen a lot from our Ice Cats today with a 5-0 lead for them. We've seen great offensive play from the Ice Cats. We're seeing that kind of offensive core start to continue to develop, and we're seeing like the notable names and kind of the underlying underdogs of the assists kind of start to poke through. From DU, we're definitely seeing fantastic defense. We're seeing kind of I think conglomeration would be the right word, of just their defense works together incredibly to cover and to kind of be an oppressive force on that U of A offensive line. So it's going to be a fascinating third period as we start it here.
Absolutely, and let the match begin as we are off to a strong start with possession quickly contested as it goes against the boards, but is then brought back out into the open ice. Let's see where this will be going. Alrighty, unfortunately we seem to have a little bit of a toss-up, but thankfully Wildcats seem to be coming away. They have a wide band strategy here, trying to get coverage across the ice, front and back. Looks like a little bit caught up. Denver comes out with a strong, fast movement. My apologies, folks. I got mixed up because I saw NMSU do several plays like this, where they had a few players just sort of blitz the offense. And it looks like that was actually a pretty good strategy, as that managed to sort of de-scramble what the U of A was lining up to do. I think.
And it looks like we're seeing a second penalty for DU, so it's going to be, I believe that's 5-on-3 hockey for the Ice Cats.
It's about
with
30
a second,
seconds, right?
30 seconds of that 3-on-5. Adam, do you happen to catch what that second penalty call was for?
I want to say that second penalty had something to do with a little bit of roughing, because I noticed that there was some. Here, let's see.
Penalty, number 15, Alexandria Chisdad. 2 minutes for interference.
I see, it was interference was called on the play. Interesting. Okay. I know I saw there was a little bit of a tumble at one part of the ice.
Perhaps that is what is being called to. The interference call is a kind of contested call just with where it lies, especially with ACHA women's hockey rules. They're a little bit, I guess, up for interpretation for the refs, and we've kind of started to see that as our broadcast team's kind of learning the women's ACHA rules, just with how kind of refs like to interpret them and kind of how they affect our Ice Cats.
For the viewers at home, what are some of the distinctions that ACHA makes with their plays? I noticed that there are a few calls different. What do you say are some of the most notable changes?
Denver, still shorthanded, but not out short.
Some of the big ones that we kind of look at with ACHA, and this is something we definitely ran into with that doubleheader to start the season for the Ice Cats, was there's a fascinating call when it comes to body checking, in that there is it has to be, I think the exact wording was unintentional to some effect, just because it kind of, there were very, very specific words, and our refs with that first game were definitely strong to call that on the Ice Cats, and so our broadcast team kind of was like, we didn't really understand what was going on with the calls for the refs, so we had to consult the playbook last home game.
Understood. We are back to 5-on-4 hockey. Looks like we have that for about 47 seconds. Let's see if the Cats can peel away with anything from there. A quick attempt at the front goal, but Lindsay Taylor, number 1 on Denver University's team, is quick to get that out of the point, supported by her teammates. So let's see where we can bring this around from here. A long shot from U of A. Looks like they're probably going to call icing on that. as that drove deep into enemy territory, almost all the way from the goal back in U of A turf. But we shall see. If anything, it looks like they might have just called it dead. 28 seconds left on the power play, 17:41 left in the period. Let's see if either team can make something of those minutes. Puck is out loose, quickly pursued and contested by Schultz, trying to get in there for the Wildcats. Picked up pretty quickly by, let's see, number 94, Allen, trying to be driven in by O'Neill, but unfortunately it is just tipped off by Denver. They drive it in deep, just off the pads of Hannafin. No icing called, seems to have just been a dunk.
And with that, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey.
And let's see where this matchup takes us now. Bit of a board tap as Wildcats started to drive it around, going in for a side hit. Actually, unfortunately, deflected off of a fellow teammate. And currently fighting for the puck is Howell, trying to make sure that there's any chance of the Wildcats getting that puck back. Unfortunately, Denver drives them off as they begin to take it up the middle. But now the Wildcats have a chance to recover in their own zone. Tapped back, goes a little wide for Toivonen to grab it. But thankfully, it is at least out of Denver hands. And whistle blown on the play to reset.
We're definitely seeing an interesting strategy from the Ice Cats. In the only way I can think to describe it is kind of like the game Pong, in that they are bouncing that puck off of the boards and kind of, it's almost like a pass, but it's more a deflection through the boards. Adam, is this something that you see a lot in women's college hockey?
I will admit, I have not seen as much women's college hockey. To be fair, my hockey knowledge is somewhat limited overall. But I'm definitely noticing what you're saying. Like, I mean, I played a lot of Pong in my day. That's for sure. That part I understand. And I can start to recognize a lot of where you're coming from with that. And I think we're definitely starting to see a bit of that play come out, especially here at the top of the third. You can see bits of it in the second as well. But we're starting to notice a bit more of that sort of back-to-back and back and forth. Really just a lot of rebuking and forthing. But not a whole lot of actually inbound from there. We'll see where this takes us, though. Both teams are, you can watch them currently trying to adjust to the new plays on the field and seeing where they can bring things from here. Currently tied up a little bit behind the goal post. Denver's able to drive it out, bringing it back into the mid and past the blue into Arizona's zone. A little bit of a shoulder check there, but thankfully, apparently nothing too severe. Schultz is able to take it away. A bit of a tap back and forth before Denver is able to drive U of A at least a bit away. Throwing it back behind the net. Recovered by Maine, who tosses it back and throws it out to the enemy side by Allen. Now let's see where they can take this from here. Quickly picked up by Mansour on the other team. 23. Trying to get it anywhere but the goal. A quick block by Taylor, but it looks like she's not trying to stop it just yet. She wants to see where this goes, and so do we. Whoa, bit of a slip up right there on mid-ice, right by the blue line. But thankfully, a quick recovery as O'Neill is able to start to drive it. A quick disrupt, brilliantly done, as number 8, Gabrielle Hardy, tries to drive it forward into Arizona's zone. A bit more slipping up. Well, I wonder if we have a little bit of loose ice out there. I know the Zamboni went over a good 2 or 3 times during intermission, but
we're definitely seeing it more in that that area as well. So it could be possible we have a little bit of loose ice or just some water out there in that corner of the rink.
I mean, the ice is cold, but it tends to melt very quickly under the heat of competition, that of which both teams are bringing today. Play is called dead after a little bit of a dispute along the boards. And let's see where this is going to take us as we keep going. Looks like we're going to see a Wildcat penalty on the play, as it looks like we have Allen skating into the box.
We've seen a great game from Allen. We definitely have seen kind of that offensive approach that she is known to take, and definitely we're seeing kind of that offensive approach to defense is the best way of putting it. As a defensive player, she definitely knows when and where to get out there and we definitely saw that from her.
Absolutely. Let's see what it was.
2 minutes for holding.
Holding called on the play. Let's see what the Wildcats can do here as it's 5-on-4, and let's see if they can take away. I think this is one of the first times in this game they are on the power kill. Let's see what they can do with that. We currently have on the enemy team number 13, Jenna Rubin, trying to drive it as hard as she can into Arizona, is forced back to toss to Laura Davis and try to get something of a regroup going here, as they're just sort of caught up around here in the mid zone. Both numbers 11, O'Leary, and 27, Ceramic, both trying to come out with something, but both are just sort of completely tapped away. Very good interceptions going on right here in the midpoint by, it looks like, Toivonen. Actually, forgive me, that's actually Brittany Bridle, who has been right up in their business and making sure that no puck is going to end up in Denver's hands. Very good deflections. And with the deep throw down ice by O'Neal, looks like the Wildcats are going to get a chance. A quick one-person line change before they come back out to play this game. Denver currently, we can see they're trying to lose the Wildcats as they are quickly pursuing. Play is just called down right now. 28 seconds left in the power play before Allen can join the Wildcats back on the ice and we get back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Absolutely. I thought we would see some more offensive pressure from DU in this power play, and as much as they're trying, the U of A defense is really proving themselves in this power kill with lots and lots of just, again, I keep using the word oppressive, but just like overarching coverage from the U of A defensive core here.
Absolutely. The classic saying, a good defense is a greater offense. The Lady Cats here are proving that the opposite is also true. A good offense can be just as good of a defense, as their aggressive plays to really get in there and take the puck off of Denver's hands is proving pretty successful so far, as we are off the power play for Denver. Quickly, a bit of a back and forth here of tapping the puck across the boards. O'Neal trying to drive it out, but it looks like we're going to have a bit of a backup against the boards here. Tossed out into the open and quickly recovered and shot back outwards by Schultz, trying to make sure the play stays alive. Quick skate in, trying to make sure that that puck goes somewhere. We got McKeague on point, followed up very quickly by Carson. Takes the puck over and tries to drive it to somewhere where we can get it parked. Pesca with a wide shot, bringing it out to the point. It's caught up again by Saarinen, who's trying to get it off the boards, but is quickly pushed back by Kathleen Johnson on Denver. Shot out wide. Schultz trying to make sure that the Wildcats can get a shot to do something with this, but is brought back to Denver's goal as they regroup. Brought out to get to the point. Pesca tries to go in for something. Quickly blocked by Taylor. Shot out towards the back where it's picked up by Howell. Throws it back into play. Carson tries to zoom in order to try to bring that anywhere near the goal. She's a little tied up at the moment, so it's picked up by Howell once again to bring it in. But it is brought around instead and out to the back. They were hoping to get that to Pesca, looks like. Thankfully, she's able to come up with a bit of a recovery. It gets shot back over to Carson, who's now in hot pursuit, trying to get that puck back from Avery Hackstole on Denver, who shoots it right back out into the open zone past the blue in Arizona. Nothing called. Let's see. As there's a bit of back and forth here, trying to drive it around that goal. Gabrielle Mansour on the other team. Oh, bit of a toss-up in front. And it looks like, thankfully, keeping her cool as always, Hannah Finn is able to get that puck out of there. And her team, the Cats, are able to drive it out before the whistle is blown.
Wildcat fans, stick around after the game to hear from Coach Hogan and the player of the game.
Absolutely. We're definitely seeing Hannah Finn, again, prove herself as a goalie. And we've seen it in her stats, and we're seeing it in this game. She has a great defensive core in front of her, but she definitely is proving herself to have fantastic puck vision.
Absolutely. And puck is down behind the net. Let's see here what we got on the play. Oh, thankfully, no calls. There's a bit of a line change coming up, looks like, from Denver, trying to switch up constantly on the Cats, making sure that there is no chance for them to settle.
Absolutely, we're kind of seeing like DU putting out fresh legs, just trying to get just some more fire in the offense.
Seems to be doing its work, though. Overall, Denver's actually doing a very good job of, at the very least, stalemating the Cats.
Absolutely.
Making sure they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, we're seeing that that defense we've talked about all game really, really shine in this third period again. As the possession is kind of seemingly split, and we're spending a lot more time in kind of that neutral zone for both teams here.
Indeed, indeed. Toss up at number 12, 26 tries to bring it back. Saarinen is actually, I think, able to make a goal off of that, right off the skates of Taylor and into the zone. Correct me if I'm wrong.
A little shoe-in for her there. Very impressive, quick little play there.
I'm getting my things mixed up here. I can't tell, was that Strand or Saarinen?
I believe it was Saarinen. We'll need the PA for that official call, but it did look like Saarinen.
It looked like Saarinen, especially due to her reaction, but I couldn't help but notice 10 leading the charge there around the rink as the Wildcats celebrated that goal. Let's see what the PA says.
Goal at 9-10 in the third period, scored by number 12, Layla Schultz.
Actually, Layla Schultz coming out with the score, it seems. We'll have to see if there's another callback on that.
Absolutely, and they did give Strand the assist on that one, so definitely a group effort with that goal, especially with how tight it was in the crease and how much time was spent literally shooing it in over there in the crease.
Absolutely. Wildcats hoping to bring a play over and down, but unfortunately it is gloved down by Taylor. Brooke, let me ask you, as someone who's had a lot of experience with hockey, if you're Denver right now, what is your priority in the last 8 minutes of this matchup? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to bring this home into a 6-5 game, or are you just trying to stall this out?
I think realistically for Denver, they're definitely going to push more of that defense. Just with ACHA standings is all points-based, so losing by 6-0 or losing by 8-0 actually plays a big role in your future with ACHA standings. So it's really important for DU to kind of put the pump the brakes for the U of A offensive core.
This is true. I remember hearing the intricacies of rankings for ACHA. It's a bit of a complex system, but I mean, someone behind the scenes knows how it all averages out.
Absolutely.
You know what they say, they hire us to make the calls on the play, but not to do the rankings. There's a reason for that, I suppose.
Seeing a little bit of a battle on the boards over there as we got 2 DU players and 2 Ice Cats. And a bit of a breakout here in that neutral zone from DU.
Let's see where they can bring this for now. Bit of back and forth over here. Hannafin trying to do a little bit of work on her end to bring this play dead, and thankfully it is called dead instead.
It's going to be a penalty
though.
Call. I believe the call is going to be tripping for U of A number 8, and that's going to be Tovin, I believe is the pronunciation on that.
Let's see, number 8, that's going to be Toivonen. Essi Toivonen.
University of Arizona, penalty, number 8, Essi Toivonen. 2 minutes, tripping.
Tripping was the official call for that penalty, so DU is now back on that 5-on-4, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with this in this last 2 minutes of a power play.
And it looks like they're trying to take as many advantages of it as they can. Quick shot on Hannafin, unfortunately going straight to the body, but their heart's in the right place, because that would have been a straight shot. You know, of course, you have Hannafin right in there, so it's not going to be going anywhere. But if they can keep up that fire, they might be able to come out with something. Wildcats, though, seem eager to make this not easy. O'Neal running races around the arena. At this point, just not even running disruption. She's just trying to keep the puck away from him. Awesome play by O'Neal, even driving it back into their own zone. A risky move, but it seems to have worked out, as that bought them easily a good 15 or 20 seconds off of the enemy power play.
Little game of keep away that O'Neal was playing there.
Always fun to see. It would pass back and forth here in Arizona zone, but looks like it's caught dead by Hannafin. Very nice glove on that puck. Six minutes, 21 seconds left in the play. Toss back and over. Looks like Denver is determined to make something happen. They only have 30 seconds left in their power play to bring something onto the board, and unfortunately, it looks like Schultz is all over that puck, even throwing herself down to try to make sure that they can't get it. Denver
Huge
does
hit
come away,
along
though.
the board there.
Absolutely. Very quick turning on the boosters is actually number 18, Kathleen Johnson, whose name I said just before. She seems to be putting in especially a lot of the fire on this Denver team. And I think that's something that we have to give this team credit for, is that despite this 6-0 scoring, we are seeing nothing but determination from Denver all the way to the end, and that is admirable.
Absolutely, and with that, we are now back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Quick shot by Denver, interrupted very quickly by 22 Howell. As they begin to bring this around, O'Neal's a little tripped up, unfortunately, and the puck comes away back to Denver before it is stolen back, actually, by McKeague. Tosses it back and over to Howell, who brings it over to O'Neal, trying to drive it along the boards, but it looks like Denver has other plans for them. Quick interruption by Howell. Howell's able to bring it in 3-on-1. She tries for a shot, but unfortunately gets a little tripped up. Quick tap along the boards there.
We're seeing a lot of big hits from both teams right now in this third period, and definitely some looks to the refs just to see if these will be called. And the refs seem to not be calling as many of these larger hits right now, and I think it's frustrating DU just a bit there.
A little bit, that's for sure. Everyone's trying to put in a bit more energy, and of course, when you do that, your momentum increases, and that's how you get a lot of falls. Big battle against the boards, forced to be called dead.
I think roughing might be the penalty call for, I believe that's McKeague going to the box right now. Yes, it is.
Oh, yep, that would be. And we were just talking about McKeague during the intermission. Can you tell us a little bit about McKeague?
Absolutely. What is crazy to see, seeing her on the ice, she's an aggressive force. She's actually 5'1". And so when you kind of look at that in hockey terms, that is not a lot of momentum to kind of throw around, but you definitely see her throw it a lot. She's a very, very aggressive player.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Personally, I love to see that. Short kings and queens out there still ruling where we can. I know hockey's usually a game dominated by massive people, but with her momentum, her control, and agility, she has brought a very key component to this team.
Absolutely. The official call for that penalty was cross-checking.
I see. Definitely, you can see Denver's trying to take as much advantage as they can on this power play. Already 3 attempts on that goal, and they're starting to get all over the place. Wildcats are starting to try to clean up best they can, trying to dunk them out of there, but Denver is fighting tooth and nail to get anywhere they can. Quick toss back, trying to keep it within the zone.
A DU player seemed to have just dropped O'Neal, and there was no call. O'Neal looks a little bit shaken on the come up, and no call from the ref on that.
I did notice she does seem to be trying to balance herself a little bit more as she's trying to skate around. Seems to be okay. She's taking a bit of a breather. We'll have to see. It looks like she's going to come in for the line change. Thankfully, get a bit off of the skates real quick. Hopefully catch a bit of a breather.
We've seen a lot of playing time from O'Neill in this game, so she definitely has worked a lot in this game today.
Exactly. 3:13 left in the match. 47 seconds left on the power play for Denver. Brittany Bridle throws it far out in quick and hot pursuit. Schultz trying to be able to catch up to it. Quick interception. Bridle to Howell. Both of them right in front of the goal, but it is unfortunately passed away by Brooke Oseland for Denver, trying to make sure that game stays 6-0. A quick wide shot goes over the net. Denver trying anything they can. 8 seconds left. It looks like the Wildcats have been able to keep them off the point as that power play just expired. Caught off by Hannafin. And thankfully a bit of a breather here as we are just approaching the last 2 minutes of this match. While we have this second, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us for today's live stream here on the U of A women's hockey team YouTube channel. We would always encourage you to check out the men's team, but just as much, we'd love to encourage you to come back for the women's games, especially in person here at the Tucson Arena in the TCC. Trust me, even though the arena might be a little chilly, it's just as warm outside. That's one of the beauties of Arizona. But we'd love to have you in person, so if you can, go ahead and check the link in chat for tickets to the men's games or show up for the women's games on the schedule on our homepage in order to find out when you can come, as tickets are now free, hoping to bring some fans here into the arena.
Absolutely, the women's games, it's a pretty great lineup when you start to get into those January, that like almost playoff time. There's a lot of on the road for our Wildcats, both men's and women's, in November and then into December as well. And so we're going to be so happy to have you back for those home games starting in January.
Absolutely. Men's team is going to be playing tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific time, if I'm right, in Oklahoma. If you're able to join us then, check in on the men's YouTube page then. And correct me if I'm wrong, is the next women's game next week? Or is it actually the week after?
I think it is next week. It's definitely an away game, but I believe it is next week.
So unfortunately, you won't be seeing us here covering the live stream for that game here in the Tucson Arena. There'll be a little bit of an ache in our hearts, ladies and gentlemen, but we still would encourage you to support the Cats on the road. Right now, it looks like, speaking of on the road, the Cats are trying to make a driving play here, fighting right there up against the net, trying to make sure that we can get anything into the goalpost. Quick check up against the wall. Looks like they are trying everything they can to ensure that the Cats can't make another play. Shot out across the ice, which brings us to the 1 minute warning in the third period. It's the final countdown, that's for sure. And my apologies, I happen to miss this, but we happen to be on a Wildcat power play at this moment.
Absolutely. And just to check in on that next game for our Ice Cats, it is actually against ASU next weekend in Tempe. So it's going to be a very good game. As our big rivals here in the state of Arizona, it will be great to see. I believe this is the first time that the U of A Ice Cats will be meeting our state rivals on the ice. So it'll be a fantastic game to kind of see where the women's teams will lie in this rivalry. Knowing the men's teams, we know that is a ferocious game every time. So it'll be great to see what the women do with it.
Absolutely, and especially with the showing that the women's team has shown today, I think that we can safely anticipate a very strong matchup against ASU, especially the ferocity that comes out in those games as both teams go against each other is something you're not going to want to miss, folks. But thank you so much for joining us here. That is going to be it for the game. 6-0 Wildcats.
Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. And from everyone high above the ice, we will see you next time. This is Wildcat Hockey.